The Adventures of Pinocchio, another classic read-aloud story by me, former Alaskan teacher Jeff Babcock. Now, we began our story on Tuesday, May 5th, 2020. And today, Wednesday, May 6th, I will read Chapter 2. Pinocchio, C. Carlo Collodi, The Adventures of Pinocchio, translated from the Italian by Carol della Cisa, illustrated by Attilio Mussini, and it's published in September 1968. Macmillan Publishing Company, New York. Collier Macmillan Publishers in London. Okay. Chapter 2. Mastro Cherry gives the piece of wood to his friend Geppetto, who takes it to make himself a marionette that will dance, fence, and turn somersaults. Now check out Master Geppetto's wig. He has a yellowish wig that is the Italian word is the kids called him Polendina. Okay. In that very instant, a loud knock sounded on the door. "Oh, come in," said the carpenter, not having an atom of strength left with which to stand up. And at the words, the door opened, and a dapper little old man came in. His name was Geppetto. The boys in the neighborhood, like I mentioned, he was Polendina, which stood for cornmeal mush, on account of the wig that he always wore, and which was the color of yellow corn. Geppetto had a very bad temper, and woe to the one who called him Polendina. He became as wild as a beast, and no one could soothe him. "Oh, good day, Mastro Antonio," said Geppetto. What are you doing on the floor?" Well, I am teaching the ants their ABCs. "Oh, good luck to you." "Well, what brought you here, friend Geppetto?" My legs." "And it may flatter you to know, Mastro Antonio, that I have come to you to beg for a favor." Well, here I am at your service," answered the carpenter, raising himself onto his knees. "Well, this morning I had a fine idea came to me." "Oh, let's hear it." "I thought of making myself a beautiful wooden marionette. It must be wonderful, one that will be able to dance and fence and turn somersaults, and with it I intend to go around the world to earn my crust of bread and a cup of wine. What do you think of that?" "Bravo, Polendina!" cried the same tiny voice, which came from no one knew where. And on hearing himself called Polendina, Mastro Geppetto turned the color of a red pepper, and facing the carpenter said to him angrily, "Why do you insult me?" Who is insulting who? You called me Polendina." "I did not." "Oh, I suppose you think I did. Yet I know it was you." "No." "Yes." "No." "Yes." And growing angrier each moment, they went from words to blows, and finally began to scratch and bite and slap each other. And when the fight was over, Mastro Antonio had Geppetto's yellow wig in his hands, and Geppetto found the carpenter's curly wig in his mouth. "Give me back my wig," shouted Mastro Antonio in a surly voice. You return mine, and we'll be friends." Well, the two little old men, each with their own wig back on their own head, shook hands and swore to be good friends for the rest of their lives. Well, then, Mastro Geppetto, said the carpenter, to show he bore him no ill will, what is it you want? I want a piece of wood to make a marionette. Will you give it to me? Mastro Antonio, very glad indeed, went immediately to his bench to get the piece of wood which had frightened him so much. But as he was about to give it to his friend, with a violent jerk, it slipped out of his hands and hit against poor Geppetto's thin legs. Ah! Is this the gentle way, Mastro Antonio, in which you make your gifts? You've made me lame, almost lame. I swear to you I did not. Oh, it was I, of course. It's the fault of this piece of wood. Oh, you're right. But remember, you were the one to throw it at my legs. I did not throw it. Liar, Geppetto. Geppetto, do you insult me, or shall I call you Polendina? Idiot, Polendina. Donkey, Polendina. Ugly monkey, Polendina. And on hearing himself called Polendina for the third time, Geppetto lost his head with rage and threw himself upon the carpenter, and then and there they gave each other a sound thrashing. And after this fight, Mastro Antonio had 2 more scratches on his nose, and Geppetto had 2 buttons missing from his coat. But thus, having settled their accounts, they shook hands and swore to be good friends for the rest of their lives. And then Geppetto took the fine piece of wood, thanked Mastro Antonio, and limped away toward home. Okay, tomorrow, chapter 3. As soon as he gets home, Geppetto fashions the marionette and calls it Pinocchio, and the first pranks of the marionette.